Hi y'all, welcome back to another video. So jumping right into things, we're gonna get started with natural nail prep. So I'm taking this cuticle remover here from Blue Cross and I'm going to place it on the bottom half of my nails so that it's able to saturate my cuticle area. Once everything is on, I am going to let it sit for just a few seconds before grabbing my cuticle pusher. And I'm going to gently push everything back so I can get that dead skin exposed so I can remove it. So you may notice that my natural nails are shorter than they normally are, and it's because I decided to pick up something way too heavy for myself. I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway, dropped it on my fingers, and broke the nails straight across on every single one of them. It was so painful, so I had to cut everything down, and we're basically starting from scratch. But honestly, I'm grateful that it was just my nails and not my actual fingers. So I guess that's the silver lining here, because nails grow back, but I would much rather have broken nails than broken bones. But anyway, once we have those cuticles pushed back, I am going to grab my cuticle nippers here and I'm going to remove all of the white, sticky, gunky stuff that's still left on the nail, because just wiping it away really isn't enough. So I'm going to go ahead and just gently take that away. So to get into those crevices around the sides, I really like to take my thumb, pull the skin back, and take the tip of the cuticle nipper and get right into the harder to reach areas. So to make sure we're starting with sanitized and clean nails, I'm going to be taking this alcohol prep pad here and wiping everything off the nails. If you don't have alcohol prep pad, you can use alcohol and a lint-free wipe, alcohol and paper towel, or better yet, you can even just go to the bathroom at this point and wash your hands with warm water and soap. Anything goes, but we just want to make sure that the nail plate is clean and dehydrated. So once I'm done cleaning off the nails, this is what everything looks like at this point. And essentially, this is what yours should look like too at this stage. We want our nails to be nice and dehydrated. It should almost look like we're wearing a matte top coat, because we don't want our natural nail beds to be super oily, because everything we put on afterwards needs to adhere to the natural nails. If there's too much oil on the nail plates, everything is just going to slide right off and your nails are not going to last for more than, if you're lucky, a couple of days. So we want dry, dehydrated, but clean nails before we move on. If your nail plate is still oily, don't be afraid to go back in with alcohol again. So next I will be applying a peel off base coat. This one here is from Jello. And if you are wondering how long I have been able to get these to last, they stay on for about a week and a half. So if you are looking for something that lasts longer than the 2 or 3 days, this is going to be a better option. You do still have to cure it in a lamp though, so keep that in mind. But when I'm applying this, I only place it on the center part of my nail. When I go all the way to the edges, it makes it a little bit more complicated to take off, but it's not impossible. If you apply it only on the center, not going to the full edges, it makes the removal process so much easier. So that's what I recommend. If you are not familiar with the Jello Peel Off Base Coat, it is a gel product, so it does still need to be cured in the lamp. So I'm going to do that for 60 seconds. So for this video, we have some goodies that were sent over from Sweetie Nail Supply, and I'm so excited to try everything. But first things first, if you are not familiar with Sweetie Nail Supply, they are an online-based business located in Canada, and they have a ton of popular Asian nail brands. They offer products that range from base coat, top coat, gel polishes, you name it. So I have linked their website down below in the description box, and I also have a discount code you can use if you decide to make a purchase. So let's see everything we have here. Starting off, these are some nail extensions. And then we also have the Yogo Zombie Base Gel, as well as the Yogo Zombie Top Coat. And then last but certainly not least, we have the Bella Bee Swanky Gel Polish Collection. So we will be using all of these products to create the nail look today. So first I'm going to grab these stiletto extensions, and these are the Sara Friends Etching Stiletto Tension Tips. These come in 504 pieces, but when I open this, you'll see there are 11 different sections because the sizes range from 0 to 10, but they did include 2 sections of a size 6. So I'm gonna grab one of these here so you guys can see it up close, but basically the bottom half of the extension is matte, and then at the top it is clear. The bottom half of the extension is nice, thin, and quite flexible, so if you need to roll them a little bit, you can. And then the tip of the extension is sturdy, which is very common in extension tips that we'll see on the market now. The cuticle edge will be nice and thin, so it fits naturally, a little bit more flexible, and then once you get to the top, that's where all the strength typically is, and it's very hard to bend, which you can see here. I can't really bend the top of the extension like I could the bottom half. So I place the biggest size on top of my thumb, and you can see here that the matte etching part of the extension is just shy short of my natural nail length. So this is actually great because it'll serve as a guide for how far up to place my gel glue when the time comes. So I'm going to take a guess of my sizes based off of what I typically use in other brands. And now I'm just going to size the extensions, basically placing my guesstimated size on top, making sure it fits from sidewall to sidewall. And if it does, that's the size I'm going to choose. I will say, based on what I typically wear, the sizes didn't vary too much except for my pinky. I was slightly bigger. Normally I wear a 7. This one I was a 6. So here are my actual sizes. So if you need a reference, you can start here. So to put my tips on, I will be using the Yogo Zombie Base Gel, and y'all look at this. This is the perfect consistency in my opinion when it comes to applying extensions. This product is a medium viscosity, and spoiler alert, it's my new favorite. So what I'm gonna do is take the gel glue and place it on the bottom half of the extension, basically covering where that etching already is, because my natural nails are just a little bit longer than the length of the etching. So it's the perfect guide for how far up to put my glue. And when I'm applying these, I will be doing the overlay method. So I'm not going to place the extension all the way at the cuticle line. I am going to leave a significant gap, and then I'm going to a flash cure. So I will say, when I was using this, I noticed that it flash cured faster than products that I have used before, which is great. So technically, I think I counted up to about 8 seconds in this particular lamp. I just want to say this is going to vary upon the wattage and the strength of the flash cure lamp that you're using. But for this one that I'm using here, it didn't take a long time, which I love, because what ends up happening is if you have something that flash cures for a longer period of time, and let's say you think it's done because it's been, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, and let's say you loosen your grip because you think it's done curing and it's not, next thing you know, you'll have bubbles, it'll be popping off, you'll have to re-prep and start over again. It's just like a whole hot mess. And 8 seconds was just enough time to be able to take my flat brush and some alcohol and clean up the excess glue if I needed to. So that's why I like when the glue cures faster. So it took me a little bit of time to figure out the right amount of glue, and I figured it out when I got to the thumb. So that's 5 tries, okay? So you only really need a teeny amount. I'm used to putting some on the left side, some on the right side, some on the bottom half and pull it. Like, I really didn't need to do all of that. The thinnest layer possible you can get on these extensions is all you need. Like I mentioned earlier, it did take me a little bit of time to get the right amount of glue. So there are some fingers where the glue is right above where my natural nail stops. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean the underside of the extension off with alcohol and a lint-free wipe. And then I'm going to grab the Yogo top gel and place it on the underside of the extension. So what you see me doing here is taking a moment to pause to ensure that this is a no wipe product, and it is. And the reason why I did this is because anytime you are placing top coat on the underside of the extension, you want to make sure that it is no wipe so that no lint, dust, hair, whatever gets caught underneath the extension. So the top gel is no wipe, but it also is a medium viscosity. So using a very, very thin layer of this is what worked best. And then once I'm done, I am going to cure in a big lamp for 60 seconds. Next, I'm going to grab my 80/80 grit file and I'm going to shape the extensions just a teeny bit. I want to make sure that they're fitting my natural nails quite well. And then I also want to remove the little piece on the tip of the extension. So I am going to file the base of the extension down just a little bit. The extensions were already thin at the cuticle area, so there isn't really a lot of work that I had to do at this point, but I want to make sure that it's sitting as flush to my natural nail as possible. So when I go and apply the medium viscosity base gel on top, everything is able to sit nice and leveled to each other. So there is dust everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and clean it off again with some alcohol in a lint-free wipe. Next, I am going to grab that Yogo Zombie Base Gel again, and I'm going to use this to do the overlay method. So I'm applying this on top of the extension, but once I get closer to the bottom half of the nail where the extension stops and my natural nail is, I'm going to gently push the gel backwards towards the cuticle, but I'm making sure not to flood my cuticles. And the base gel, because of the viscosity of it, is going to fill in that empty space, making everything nice and leveled. But before I move on, I am going to take a thin, small liner brush to get closer to the cuticles without flooding them with the big brush that is in the bottle. So now that I have the extensions all ready to go, I'm going to cure this in my big lamp for 60 seconds, and then we're going to move on to the nail art. For base color today, I don't have a Korean gel polish, so sorry about that, y'all, but I will be using the D&D Sheer collection, which is a very sheer-like polish, and this one, I'm switching it up for y'all. This is Dirty Dancer. I have never used this. I literally picked it up last week at the nail supply store. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a thin layer of this first. Actually, if you have any favorite Korean gel polishes that are basically perfect for base colors, let me know in the comments down below and I will take a look at them and pick some of them up to try them. Here is one layer of this polish. As you can see, it's actually very similar, if not the same as my natural nail color. So I definitely need to build this up. I will be going in with a second coat. So I decided to switch things up and grab Beetle's B441, which is a more peachier neutral color. And I decided to go on top with it because the color I had down, I just needed a hint of peach, and this one I know was going to do it for me. So that's what I'm going to apply here. Okay, so I honestly, truly was the most excited for this part right here. I really want y'all to see these polishes. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox everything. These are from the Show Me Korea Bella B Swanky collection. And they're basically reflective, beautiful gel, sparkly, glittery polishes. They are stunning. Like, I saw them online and I thought they were beautiful, but when I pulled them out of the container and swatched them, I was shooketh. Do you hear me? Shook. They are absolutely beautiful. The way they sparkle in the sun is phenomenal. The way the light hits them, they each have like different colored glitter particles. What I'm going to do is be creating a gradient ombre with the glitter polishes because I can't use all the colors on my nail no matter how badly I want to. So we're just going to select two. I'm going to be taking this one here, which has peach-like undertones and iridescent glitter. So we're going to start placing the polish where my natural nail ends. You can kind of see it underneath the extension, and we want to cover that just a little bit with this glitter polish. And then we're going to go up 2/3 of the nail. then once I'm done, I'm not going to cure anything. I'm going to go in with that champagne color that has silver glitter particles, and I'm going to place that where the pink stops all the way up to the tip of the nail, but I'm making sure not to get them touching each other and leaving a little bit of space, because I don't want to get one color mixed in with the other when I go to dip my brush back into the bottle. We don't want to do any of that. So just leaving a little bit of space because we will blend them together in just a moment. So next I'm going to grab my ombre brush and I'm going to blend them together, filling in any empty spaces so that they look pretty unison. It is a little bit hard to tell here the difference in the undertones of the champagne color and the peach color, but off camera you can definitely see it in the natural light. I'm actually going to zoom in here so you can see it a little bit better. You can get what I mean. But I'm just taking my ombre brush and gently swiping the two gel polishes into each other. The reason why I decided to do it with an ombre brush instead of the brushes from the polish bottle is because I don't want my polishes contaminated with the wrong color. So this just keeps things nice and clean, and using an ombre brush, in my opinion, is quite easy to work with. Makes life easier. So like I mentioned, I love me some rhinestones, so I'm going to go ahead and place a couple of them on the bottom half of the nail, and I'm going to take some golden pearls and some caviar beads as well. So as I was laying the rhinestones down, I realized that I placed the glitter a little bit too far down on the nail, just like ever so slightly. So what I'm doing is going back in with that Beetles polish, and I'm taking it on my ombre brush and slightly blending it over that glitter polish. It's not going to erase the glitter polish, right, because it is cured in place, but it is going to cover it just a little bit to make it look more blended. So my middle finger and my thumb are wider, so I am going to put a little bit more of the rhinestone pearls and caviar beads on this one, and then on the smaller finger, so my pinky, ring, and pointer finger, I'm only going to put like a couple of stones down here, literally like one stone and one caviar bead. So last but certainly not least, I'm going to take that Yogo Zombie Top Gel again and apply it to each of the nails. So here are what the nails look like all done. And I just love when the light hits these nails because you can see the silver glitter, you can see the iridescent glitter shining. It is just so beautiful to me. All the products I used are linked in the description box down below, as well as discount codes. You can save some coins. But if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know what you think of these nails. Are you going to be trying them out? Yes or no? Whatever you think, leave a comment down below. But in the meantime, I will see you in one of these videos here.